Hey guys, how are you doing? So, my name is Fahad Najam and I have been in the technical industry for 15 plus years, and I have been in companies like Amazon, Broadcom, Johnson Johnson, Western Digital, Biorad. So I have different experiences from medical devices to cluster scale data centers to singular devices to genomic sequencing in Biorad or medical devices. So I come here for a very important topic over here that is a little bit concerning, and this is about security in the NVLink and UALink, which is being brought up. Mostly, I think NVLink, UALink, we still have the UALink section encryption going on right now, and it's still in the works of multiple consortium or people working on it. So we have solved the problem of performance, So NVLink, for example, version 5 gets 1.8 terabytes per second GPU. It can be scaled up to 70 GPU NVL 72 domains. In UALink, we get 200G Open Fabric, up to 1024 accelerators now with the latest spec. And the bandwidth has been bigger for both links now. Problem is this, that we have spent years hardening firmware keys and attestation to the point of essentially putting nails in the coffin. But with but this overlooked area is essentially the supply chain area, TLS stack, right? It's the hardware supply itself, from silicon, interposer, retimers, cables and boards, and that moves the bits and bytes between the accelerator themselves. And then the bigger the bandwidth and skill is, the bigger blast radius of security is there, right? If upstream hardware is compromised, right? So documented risk, I'm going to talk about everything that is not my opinion. I am actually basically, these are documented risks I'm reading from. So side channel attacks in NVLink. Research has shown GPU to GPU covert channels, right? Workload fingerprinting, data leakage without even touching firmware. And then UALink threat model for that is to explicitly call out interposer, snoop, tamper risk in spec. If we talk real world breaches over here, TSMC had a supplier breach. Lockbit is the supplier or company at that time that had Lockbit basically was a breach which caused ransomware, not the company, but there was a 70 million ransom demand that was being asked. Now you have DoD counterfeit parts, 4 million plus remediation, right? That's a huge thing. Supermicro had some backdoor allegation in 2018, a 600 million market cap drop in a single day. And then I do see that there are gaps that still remain, and with my research and from documentations and posts, essentially there is a gray market and recycled components, right? And these recycled components, retimers and connectors and cables, are still something that needs to be qualified. In medical devices, we did like this such qualification, and it was it goes through the whole FMEA layer, it goes through the whole qualifying layer and everything. But anyways, we don't have such mechanisms, at least in the the industries that I saw or I worked in, apart from medical devices. Anyways, so the second thing is untrusted IP blocks. Your Trojan logic can trigger Trojan logic triggered by rare events, and that again becomes a huge risk. If anybody, God forbid, has dealt with Trojan logic and all those, so they know the pain. Assembly, and the third thing is assembly and interposer tampering before deployment. That's a huge risk, right? Then you have fabric level side channels via shared congestion, right? So congestion control is a huge topic. I have other posts and on LinkedIn, so I'm not going to talk about that, but remaining with this fabric level side channels, that is a again open vulnerability here because of the shared congestion. So mitigation that I recommend is we should have link level protection. Enable UALink is coming up with these kind of specification, which I'm happy that that's happening. And you enable UALink sec, right? Encrypt NVLink within GPU TE boundaries, right? Trusted execution boundaries. Design for trust. We need design for trust beyond essentially the products in the data centers. We needed like a whole supply chain trust, like split manufacturing, puff based IDs, wafer rack attestation. It has to go through from the data center outside to the supply chain. And basically also a close eye on passive actives, right? Serialize, attest cables, random X-ray, SEM sampling and all that, right? Runtime detection, on-die monitors, anomaly detection for power timing drift. A lot of these errors, if you look at like a lot of these breaches happen, power cycle resets, or just like with the power management, these things can, our product is most idle when we are going through this whole reset routine. Lot of and if you go in the history, you're going to see a lot of malware and attacks that happen during power cycling or booting, and or basically the drive or the component or product was like dead and somebody powered it on and it happened. So we need to look at that also. So bottom line on all this is that scale-up fabrics are the new trust boundary essentially. So UALink and NVLink are delivering breathtaking performance, and we are expanding beyond our means now in a sense, but now give them first class supply chain and link security treatment, right? And that is very important to have. So I have 15 plus years of experience with understanding and knowing the whole infrastructure layer, right? From hardware, software to the cloud, and working in data centers to cloud, and working in benches, labs, and working at all levels essentially. So I have seen a lot of these issues, and one of the most important thing is that your security certifications are great, but security certification will not really get you to the level of understanding the hardware, software, and the infrastructure layer that we have. I haven't even touched on AI models, right? Model poisoning and all that. That's another thing. So certification is amazing, but experience is extremely important. It's like a house, right? If you live in a house and you don't even know it has basement because it's not on the blueprint of the house or whatever, how are you going to secure it? It's a very simple example. So look for engineering minds and IT or engineering leaders who have gone through this whole life cycle and then come up with a life cycle design of securing the product stream. We need performance, we need better performance and scalability all the time, but not at the cost of compromising our devices and integrity. That becomes huge, and I have seen companies fall on their knees within days. So that's something that every corporation should be aware of. Again, Fahad Najam, DM me or email me and let's talk. Take care for now. Have a good one.